Hey guys, Moogie here. As you all most likely know by now, it's 2016, which is significant for Sonic because it's the series' 25th anniversary. I've been a fan for a pretty long time now, so as a longtime fan, I have some expectations for Sonic this year. In this video, I'll be talking about what I expect to happen, what I want to happen, and what I don't want to happen. Let's get started. What I want. Number 1. Okay, first of all, I would say a good game, but that's a no-brainer. What I want the most is playable characters besides Sonic. This is for the sake of variety and longevity, which is something I feel the past few games have been kind of lacking. While I enjoyed Lost World, I feel like it doesn't have much replay value. I mean, when you play it once, that's kind of it. Sure, there's red rings and other stuff to collect throughout the game, but it requires you to play the same mode over and over again, which I guess capitalizes on exploring and memorizing the levels, but I feel like the reward isn't worth the work. On the other hand, Sonic Generations has two styles of gameplay. Since the point of that game was to put emphasis on the boost gameplay and the classic side-scrolling gameplay, I don't see how adding other multiple characters would have worked for both modes. It would have worked for the classic gameplay for sure, but I don't think it would have worked for the modern stages, which were built for speed. I'd also like to stress I don't want vastly different styles of gameplay, like treasure hunting, shooting, or racing in vehicles, but rather a twist put onto the way Sonic plays, like in the Genesis games. Tails and Knuckles played very similar to Sonic, but had enough differences to make them stand out. And due to those differences, each character was able to explore different paths based on their unique abilities. I'm a bit on the fence with the gameplay in the adventure games. Sure, I enjoyed the Sonic and Shadow stages, and a handful of other characters. Honestly, I don't think the games aged that well. Shooting works well for characters like Gamma and Eggman, but I'd rather keep Tails on foot. It's a bit hard to say with the treasure hunting, because while it was innovative to Sonic, I guess, it was also very shoddy and needed a lot of work. Maybe it could work if Sega didn't develop it solely for the purpose of extending the length of the game. One more thing, if other characters are going to be in the game, I'd rather it not contradict storylines in previous installments. For example, Knuckles in Sonic Heroes. Why was he there, not guarding the Master Emerald? Both adventure games couldn't stress it enough that Knuckles' duty was to guard it, yet he was out having a joyride in the next game. When Sonic Unleashed came out, I believe Sega finally understood that if characters are unnecessary to the plot, you don't need to include them. So, bravo! Number 2. For Sega to perfect the Lost World gameplay style. Yes, I know a lot of people didn't really like that gameplay, but I felt like it had potential. I believe it's good to take risks, and playing it safe is something that Sega has been doing for far too long with Sonic. Personally, I like that Sonic was slowed down because I enjoyed exploring levels and platforming rather than zooming through them. While I enjoy the boost gameplay, I don't believe that style really gives a lot of room for innovation. Color switched it up a bit by adding more side-scrolling and wisps, but more on that later. If they go back to the boost-style gameplay, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't mind it, but it would make it more difficult to implement other playable characters unless they go way out of their way to create different modes for each respective character, which I don't think they'll do. Number 3. This is a bit of a minor personal thing, but I'd love vocal songs to return. If there's one thing I missed about Sonic games for the past 5 to 6 years, it's songs with vocals. I feel this made Sonic's soundtrack stand out, and while some were kind of cheesy, I feel like they had a lot of heart. It would be amazing to see Crush 40 return, but since I'm also a fan of pop music, I would also love to see Cash Cash return as well. Next up, what I don't want. Number 1. Nostalgia force-fed to us. Yes, Sega. Green Hill this, Green Hill that. We remember it. Actually, I feel like Green Hill has been rehashed so many times lately, it shouldn't even be counted as classic anymore. Don't get me wrong, I love classic Sonic, but something can only stay in the nostalgia realm for so long before it becomes the norm. Remember Sonic's 10th anniversary? That was Sonic Adventure 2, which did not rely on nostalgia, but rather new ideas. Sure, Green Hill was definitely in it, but only if you got all 180 emblems, which was not an easy achievement. Next up is Sonic 06, which was Sonic's 15th anniversary. It didn't rely too much on nostalgia, but it was starting to. Wave Ocean was pretty much a direct nod ripoff of Emerald Coast. Sonic's 20th anniversary game, Sonic Generations, was nothing but nostalgia. Green Hill was a well-hidden, hard-to-reach reward in 2001, but 10 years later, it was the very first stage you got to play. Let's not forget Sonic 4's Splash Hill Zone a year earlier and Sonic Lost World's Windy Hill Zone 2 years later, both of which were heavily influenced by Green Hill. Number 2. Wisps. I liked them in Sonic Colors because they were essential to the plot. Hell, they pretty much were the plot. They helped spicing up gameplay for a few seconds, but some were hit or miss. Their addition in Generations was pretty much justified. But as for Lost World, I feel like they were very unnecessary. Why were they there? They weren't even that much fun to use in Colors, so why bring them back? Like I said earlier, unless their presence is explained or they make them more fun than they were in previous games, I'd prefer to keep them out and make them like the Werehog, a one-time, or in this case, a two-time occurrence. Three-time occurrence if you count Generations. Number 3. Short games that can be beaten in about 5 hours. I feel like every game post-Unleashed falls into this category. I was able to complete Color's storyline very quickly, and I was left with a lingering feeling like something was missing. It's hard to say, but it didn't feel complete, and I didn't feel like it deserved the praise it got. I mean, yeah, it was good, but that's because they only decided to roll with a few things they knew that would get good praise. Sonic Generations was better, but holy hell, story-wise, I feel like it missed out on so many opportunities. I don't mind simplistic stories, mind you, but when there's the chance to make the most out of a plot to its fullest extent, there really shouldn't be an excuse. It could have something to do with the current set of writers, Ken Pontac and Warren Graff. I know they get a lot of hate, but I do enjoy their sense of humor. Of course, we don't need the same kind of dark plots that were present in Shadow the Hedgehog, Sonic 06, and, if we're pushing it, Sonic Adventure 2. I feel Unleashed had the best of both worlds. The story felt complete. It wasn't too dark, nor was it too lighthearted. It was a good middle ground. What I expect to happen. Number 1. Sonic Boom Fire and Ice will be labeled as the 25th anniversary game. Just kidding. What I expect is nostalgia. While I won't rule out another game that caters completely to fans' nostalgia like Sonic 4 and Generations, I do believe they'll use nostalgia to market the 25th anniversary game. This means Green Hill will probably, or most likely, be present in some way, shape, or form. I know Sega stated that Generations would be the only time classic Sonic is used, but based on how popular he is with merchandise, I could see them using him again, even if it's just a bonus character or costume like in Sonic Runners. Number 2. Another solo Sonic outing. Part of me says we could finally get other playable characters this year, but then I remember the other games in which I feel like we missed out on perfect opportunities to have them. It seems like we only get other playable characters in spin-offs like the Mario and Sonic series or mobile games. Number 3. More Sonic Boom representation. This means more episodes of the TV show sometime late this year or early next year, more merchandise, and promotion for Sonic Dash 2 and the 3DS game Fire and Ice. Until some sort of contract or deal for Sonic Boom expires, I don't think it's going away anytime soon, so I fully expect to see Sonic Boom represented alongside Classic Sonic and Legacy Sonic, even if it only gets a measly 3DS game that'll be overshadowed by the main console installment. Number 4. Speaking of merchandise, merchandise! Remember how Sega went all out with merchandise starting in summer 2011 for Sonic's 20th anniversary? Figures and plush dolls were front and center, and it was probably the biggest form of marketing Sega has done in a while. I know outside of Boom, Sega has been pretty quiet about Sonic for the past few years, so I really hope they have enough faith in pushing their product like they did 5 years ago. I just wonder if Tomy, the current company that holds the license for making toys, can fill the ambitious shoes that they inherited from Jazzwares. Number 5. Last of all, surprises. I expect Sega to do something I did not mention on this list, and I hope it'll be exciting. Either way, I am looking forward to seeing what they have in store for Sonic this year. After the travesty of Sonic Boom in 2014, which was originally labeled the quote-unquote Year of Sonic, and Sonic Lost World receiving lukewarm to average reviews, Sega probably knows they need to earn the trust of consumers back. Really though, it's the same song and dance we had 10 years ago, but hopefully they get it right this time. Anyway, I really do hope I listed everything here. There's probably something I'm forgetting, but oh well. I'll give my thoughts on any Sonic-related news that pops up, and I'll begin making Sonic cartoon parodies once the 25th anniversary game is announced. Until then, I'd love to hear your thoughts. So please comment, like, subscribe, give me 5 stars, tuck me in at night, and walk my dog! Oh, you're such a doll! No, but for real though, leave a comment below, like, subscribe, and be sure to check out my main channel if you haven't already. It's MugiMikey, MugiMikey. The link is in the description, and it is also here on the video. So I'll catch you all later. Don't forget to bathe. It's good for you.